Hello guys, today we'll be covering a 2003 action family film called Agent Cody Banks. All relevant links and information for the film will be in the pinned comment below, so let's get into it. The movie opens with a 15-year-old boy named Cody Banks who lives in Seattle with his parents and his younger brother Alex. Cody wakes up early in the morning and leaves for school after greeting his parents and doing his part of the household chores. On his way to the school, Cody heroically saves a child from getting into an accident, but chooses to remain anonymous in the crowd. The scene then shifts to the ARIS headquarters, a secret research organization, where a doctor named Connor presents his working sample of nanobots in front of the organization head, Brinkman, and his henchman Mollet. Dr. Connor mentions that nanobots can be programmed to disintegrate any structures or compounds consisting of carbon and silicon or other similar elements. While Connor wishes to use the technology for good, Brinkman has something evil in mind. He orders Mollet to make Connor program the nanobots as they have planned. Elsewhere, in the central office of the CIA, there's a meeting going on about the suspected evil plan of Brinkman. The CIA director briefs the officers that Brinkman is currently working with Dr. Connor and reveals that they're developing some nanotechnology that can be used to infiltrate any defense system in the world. He suggests they investigate Connor and find out about his actual mission. However, the mission won't be easy as Dr. Connor is reclusive with his research, and the only way to gain access to him is through his young daughter, Natalie. Following this, the director mentions that they'll need a special CIA officer to get closer to Natalie and extract information about Connor. He then explains about the Agent Development Program, which is secretly being conducted by the CIA to nurture the interested kids. He also mentions that Cody is the most extraordinary candidate spotted in their training program and stresses that they use him for the mission. In the next scene, Cody is in his school, facing difficulties talking with his female classmates. Later, while his friends are making fun of his inability to talk with girls, Ronica Miles, an attractive CIA agent, approaches him in the boys' locker room and informs him that he's been called up by the CIA for a mission. Excited, Cody joins her and soon arrives at the CIA headquarters. Here he meets with the CIA director, who briefs him that his role in the mission is to get closer to a girl named Natalie and extract information about her father and the project he's working on. After the briefing, Ronica approaches Cody and tells him that Natalie's birthday is coming up in a few days, during which Connor will throw a party for the guests. She then stresses that Cody must become close with her soon and to get invited to the party. Despite having no experience on how to approach a girl, Cody accepts his first mission and assures the director that he's totally ready for the job. After that, Cody's taken to a special department of the CIA, where he's given some advanced gadgets like a watch that can power electricity, X-ray glasses, and a nitro-powered skateboard. Before leaving the headquarters, Cody's also provided with $5,000 cash as an allowance to use in the mission. In the following scene, Cody reaches home and tries to inform his parents that he's gotten a scholarship in a prep school named William Donovan Institute. This is actually the school in which Natalie is currently studying. When his parents don't believe him, Ronica enters his house, disguised as a college representative, and convinces his parents to let him join the institute. The next day, Ronica takes Cody to the new institute and gives him the necessary instructions to carry out the mission. Cody enters the school and enrolls in every class that Natalie takes part in. During the chemistry class, Cody spots Natalie and is immediately drawn to her beauty. He walks towards her with the aim to start a conversation, but gets stopped midway by a group of bullies. One of the boys snatches Cody's watch and presses a button. To his surprise, the smartwatch electrocutes him, compelling him to return the gadget to Cody. After the incident, Cody approaches Natalie and tries to talk to her, but because of his immediate nervousness in front of girls, he is unable to speak, and Natalie walks away, thinking that he's a weird guy. Later in the afternoon, Cody again gets a chance to interact with Natalie in their driving test. Natalie fails the test, but Cody drives the car with ease and passes the test, impressing her. In the following scene, Cody is attending his training session with Ronica, where she urges him to make a quick move to impress Natalie and be in her good books. Cody, however, makes an excuse of having less time for the mission because of his household chores and college homework. After listening to his problems, Ronica sends a team of CIA agents to help Cody with his household chores and his homework so that he'll get enough time to study the case and make some progress on it. After the team finishes Cody's household chores, Ronica meets with him and provides him with Natalie's phone number, asking him to call her. Cody returns to his room and tries to talk with Natalie over the phone, but fails. Soon, the CIA team gets to know that Cody has no experience talking with girls and that he also lied in his resume. Immediately, Cody is brought to the CIA headquarters, where a team of experts tries to teach him about various methods to impress or interact with a girl, but none of them seems to be effective. The next day at school, Cody is walking around when he notices Natalie in danger of falling from a height. He immediately rushes toward her and saves her from hitting the ground after she slips from the ladder. Finally, Natalie is impressed with Cody and she speaks with him. She thanks him for his actions and also invites him to her birthday party. Hearing this, Cody gets excited as he successfully completed the first assignment of his mission. The scene then shifts to Natalie's birthday party, where Cody arrives in Veronica's car and immediately approaches Natalie, giving her a beautiful necklace with a tracker inside. Later, while looking around the house, Cody notices Dr. Connor conversing with Brinkman and entering a secret room. Seeing this, Cody also gathers his advanced gadgets and follows them. He manages to enter the secret room through an air vent and later discovers that the room is a laboratory where Dr. Connor is building the nanobots for Brinkman. After Brinkman and Connor leave, Cody manages to steal one of the nanobots and hide it in his advanced shoes. Unfortunately, the nanobots are programmed to destroy anything that comes in contact with it, causing it to damage Cody's shoe and ring an alarm. Despite the setback, Cody manages to get out of the laboratory without getting caught. After a while, as Cody's planning to leave the party, he's attacked by a group of bullies who try to throw him into the pool. However, he displays his CIA defensive moves and knocks out each of the bullies, impressing the crowd and making them cheer for him. The next day, the brawl between Cody and the bullies gets printed in the school newspaper, and Cody's removed from the assignment by the CIA. He tries his best to persuade Veronica to let him stay on the team, but she snatches his ID card and suggests he stay away from Natalie. Meanwhile, after Dr. Connor refuses to help him with his evil plans, Brinkman dispatches Millay and his men to capture Natalie and transport her to his headquarters in the Cascade Mountains. Elsewhere, Cody and Natalie enjoy ice cream at a restaurant, despite Veronica's orders. Cody tries to explain everything to Natalie, but just then, Millay and his crew arrive at the restaurant, assault Cody, and kidnap Natalie. With this, Cody gets suspended from the entire mission and is asked to return back to his normal life. Later, Cody returns to his home and finds his brother playing with his CIA gadgets. When Alex accidentally turns on the smartphone, Cody's able to get Natalie's location because of the tracker he'd fitted in her locket. He tries his best to inform Veronica about her location, but fails to contact her. With no options left, Cody decides to save Natalie on his own. He bribes Alex to keep his mouth shut and not inform their parents. After that, Cody breaks into the CIA weapon department and steals some of their gadgets, along with a highly sophisticated car to rescue Natalie. The next day, the CIA director finds out about Cody breaking into their office and stealing the gadgets. Hence, he threatens Veronica to find him and bring him back to the office. On the other hand, Cody reaches the Cascade Mountains on his own and uses the jet-powered snowboards to move forward. Facing difficulties controlling the high-tech device, Cody gets stuck into a tree while trying to perform a stunt. Luckily, Veronica shows up to help him and also mentions that she's there to help him save Natalie. After some time, Veronica and Cody arrive at Brinkman's secret facility and succeed in entering without being detected by the security guards. Following this, Cody moves forward in the search of Natalie while Veronica starts planting bombs around the facility. Soon, Cody spots Natalie inside a room and approaches her. In the meantime, Millay, who's keeping an eye on Natalie through the CCTV camera, spots Cody and takes his men to capture him. Meanwhile, Cody tells Natalie everything about him getting involved in the CIA and trying to impress her as an assignment. While the two are talking, Veronica also arrives there and suggests they exit the place as soon as possible. Unfortunately, before they can run away, Millay and his men attack them and capture Veronica and Natalie, but Cody manages to escape. In the next scene, Natalie and Veronica are brought to Brinkman, where he threatens Dr. Connor to finish up his programming, or else he'll eliminate Natalie. Elsewhere, Cody activates the bombs that Veronica fitted around the building earlier and causes an explosion, which distracts Brinkman and his crew. During the chaos, Natalie and Veronica manage to free themselves from the henchmen, with Natalie putting an ice cube containing nanobots inside Brinkman's mouth. Millay locates the remote in time to prevent the bots from activating, but Connor tells them that he's already damaged the remote. Meanwhile, Cody attacks Millay, and the nanobots start disintegrating Brinkman's body. Before the facility completely collapses, Cody and Veronica, along with Connor and Natalie, try to escape from there in a helicopter, but sadly the exit door gets jammed. Right then, Cody grabs some ice cubes containing nanobots and throws them at the jammed door, causing the nanobots to react with the door and destroy it. With the door destroyed, Ronica takes the helicopter out of the facility, but Cody gets attacked by an injured Malay. Fortunately, he manages to put Malay in a solo trek machine and programs it to take him to the CIA headquarters. After that, Ronica returns with the helicopter, and Cody hops aboard just before the facility explodes. In the last scene, Cody returns to the CIA headquarters, where Ronica praises him for completing the mission successfully and also returns him his CIA badge. The CIA director is also impressed by his work and offers to fulfill his demands. However, Cody only wants to assist Natalie in getting her driver's license. Later, Natalie can be seen driving her own car after getting her driver's license and taking Cody to the beach. The movie ends as Cody rejects a call from Ronica to spend some quality time with Natalie.